Hi guys, welcome to week 5. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through the PowerPoint. If you're a remote student, you'll be using this to go over it on your own. So as you can see, I'm in the week 5 folder. Right here, I gave the instructions for the week. So if you're a remote student, you're going to go through this video and you're going to be filling out the 1.9 notes. I'm going to scroll down and you're going to click on this right here. So 1.9 Reviving Digital Zombies. This is the note section. So I have it pulled up right here. So this is what it's going to look like. This is what you're going to use. You're going to fill out this as I'm going along with the PowerPoint. So if you want to just minimize maybe the screen so you can like read through the worksheet, that's fine too. If you want to just kind of flip back and forth. So I am going to click on the PowerPoint, which I have it right here in Schoology. So I have this pulled up. So here is the topic we're going to be talking about today. So what is a digital zombie? And can you think of a time you were hurt or offended by one? So this will kind of get you thinking. I want you to go ahead and pause this video and fill out the bell ringer. So what is a digital zombie, and can you think of a time you were hurt or offended by one? So go ahead and hit pause, fill that out, and then come back to us. Okay, so I'm sure all of you can think of a time that you were hurt or offended by a digital zombie. Maybe you're not quite sure what one is. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. What is a digital zombie, and how can technology be a barrier to life and relationships? So as you guys probably know, technology has become a big part of modern life. We'll be discussing how that affects our daily lives and our relationships. So I know many of you, myself included, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I check my phone because I have my alarm attached to my phone. So I'll usually turn my alarm off and, I'll take a couple of minutes just to kind of see if I have any notifications. Maybe I'll check my emails really quick. So I am guilty, as just using my phone right away when I wake up in the morning. So that's probably not a good thing. So we're going to move on here. So what is a digital zombie? So this is the actual definition that they're wanting us to use. So a digital zombie is described as a person who is addicted to technology, one who spends as much or more time looking at phones, computer screens, TVs, and video games than interacting directly with others. So here's a meme. Just thought it was kind of funny. So says how you feel when you eat with your friends who are always on their phone. So as you can see, he's staring at a blank wall. I've encountered this before where I might be out to eat with a friend, and if you look around, everyone is just out on their phone. They're not even really talking to that person they're on a date with or whoever they met up with. People are just scrolling through their phones and they're not actually taking time to interact with each other personally and physically. They're just attached to their phones. So that's what a digital zombie is, someone who is addicted to this technology rather than interacting directly with others. So moving on, technology in your brain. How does tech affect brain development and function? So maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't. I know there's a new documentary on Netflix that just came out. I think it's called The Social Dilemma. I'd recommend, if any of you have Netflix, you might want to check that out. That kind of plays into what we're talking about today. So that's a really good documentary. Here's a quote about this. I'll just read it really quick. So it says, if we're all being honest, we all suffer from attention deficit disorder, ADD, and it is in part attributable to the kind of exposure we have on our digital devices, right? Because, on our phones, everything is instant, it's instantaneous. We can instantly text someone, we can call someone, we can send a Snapchat, or if we, are bored, there's always something on our phones that can entertain us for hours and hours, right? Sometimes, I'm guilty of this as well. I'll pick up my phone and, I'll just want to check one or two things, but then, you look at the clock and it's 45 minutes later and you've wasted, a good chunk of time. You could be doing homework, or even just like going outside, maybe walking our dog or doing some chores around the house. So our brains are not built for this continuous digital monitoring. Excessive technology use can lead to fatigue, irritability, distractions, and a digital fog. Technology stimulates the brain like a drug, providing immediate and highly reinforcing feedback. It can co opt with the same brain signals that are indicated in drug addiction. So that's kind of scary that it is saying that. So, um, that immediate like attention, or say you post something on Facebook and you start getting all these likes coming through or comments. I mean, that does kind of make you feel good. So that's that instant reinforcement, that feedback that you're getting. Okay, so that's why they're saying that can kind of be a drug addiction in a way. So how can we revive digital zombies? What can we do as individuals and as a community? So this is giving us the definition. So to revive, it means to restore to life or consciousness. Okay, so this is asking what can we do to revive? And I have too much going on my screen here. I can't see this next part. Sorry, guys. So we'll move on. So how can we revive a digital zombie? So maybe you can think of some things right off the bat. If not, we'll give some examples. So maybe to revive, you want to go on somewhat of like a digital detox. So they're calling it a digital diet or digital detox. There is a section on the worksheet that you're going to be filling out your own digital diet or digital detox. So this is part of the assignment. But here are some things that you can do. And really, it's just kind of limiting your intake, all right? We're not saying like, oh, well, you can never have a phone again, or you can never play video games again. It's just saying that we should be limiting that intake, okay? So here are some examples. Putting your phone away or in another room after 9 o'clock p.m. So maybe that gives you time to kind of wind down before you go to bed, so you're not falling asleep with your phone. Don't check emails before 3 p.m. or after 9 p.m. Limit your tech time for 20-minute intervals. Only play video games on the weekends. So that's kind of trying to say, that way during the week, maybe you're focusing more on schoolwork and maybe some chores instead of playing video games and up until, late hours of the night. Turning your phones off during meals and meetings. So if you remember that meme from that previous slide where he was sitting there staring at the wall by himself. So maybe if you do go out for lunch or coffee with a friend, maybe you can challenge yourself to just turn your phone off, or maybe just put it on silent and keep it in your pocket. So then that way you're kind of giving that person, that one-on-one time, that interaction. That kind of plays along with this. Resist checking messages while talking to others. So maybe you're at lunch with your friend and you get some notifications on your phone. So just kind of resist checking that until you're done meeting with them. All right, so we're going to play this video. There are some reflection questions on the worksheet about this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you.
I have 422 friends, yet I'm lonely. I speak to all of them every day, yet none of them really know me. The problem I have sits in the spaces between looking into their eyes or at a name on a screen. I took a step back and opened my eyes. I looked around and realised that this media we call social is anything but when we open our computers, and it's our doors we shut. All this technology we have, it's just an illusion. Community, companionship, a sense of inclusion. Yet when you step away from this device of delusion, you awaken to see a world of confusion. A world where we're slaves to the technology we mastered, where information gets sold by some rich, greedy bastard. A world of self-interest, self-image, self-promotion, where we all share our best bits but leave out the emotion. We're at our most happy with an experience we share. But is it the same if no one is there? Be there for your friends, and they'll be there too, but no one will be if a group message will do. We edit and exaggerate, crave adulation. We pretend not to notice the social isolation. We put our words into order till our lives are glistening. We don't even know if anyone is listening. Being alone isn't the problem. Let me just emphasize, if you read a book, paint a picture, or do some exercise, you're being productive and present, not reserved and recluse. You're being awake and attentive and putting your time to good use. So when you're in public and you start to feel alone, put your hands behind your head, step away from the phone. You don't need to stare at your menu or at your contact list. Just talk to one another. Learn to coexist. I can't stand to hear the silence of a busy commuter train where no one wants to talk through the fear of looking insane. We're becoming unsocial. It no longer satisfies to engage with one another and look into someone's eyes. We're surrounded by children who, since they were born, have watched us living like robots and think it's the norm. It's not very likely you'll make world's greatest dad if you can't entertain a child without using an iPad. When I was a child, I'd never be home. Be out with my friends on our bikes we would roam. I'd wear holes in my trainers and graze up my knees. We'd build our own clubhouse high up in the trees. Now the park's so quiet it gives me a chill. See no children outside and the swings hanging still. There's no skipping, no hopscotch, no church and no steeple. We're a generation of idiots, smartphones and dumb people. So look up from your phone, shut down the display. Take in your surroundings, make the most of today. Just one real connection is all it can take to show you the difference that being there can make. Be there in the moment that she gives you the look that you remember forever as when love overtook. The time she first holds your hand or first kiss your lips. The time you first disagree but still love her to bits. The time you don't have to tell hundreds of what you've just done because you want to share this moment with just this one. The time you'll sell your computer so you can buy a ring for the girl of your dreams who is now the real thing. The time you want to start a family, and the moment when you first hold your little girl and get to fall in love again. The time she keeps you up at night and all you want is rest, and the time you wipe away the tears as your baby flees the nest. The time your baby girl returns with a boy for you to hold, and the time he calls you granddad and makes you feel real old. The time you take in all you've made just by giving life attention, and how you're glad you didn't waste it by looking down at some invention. The time you hold your wife's hand, sit down beside her bed, you tell her that you love her, lay a kiss upon her head. She then whispers to you quietly, as her heart gives a final beat, that she's lucky she got stopped by that lost boy in the street. But none of these times ever happened. You've never had any of this. When you're too busy looking down, you don't see the chances you miss. So look up from your phone, shut down those displays. We have a finite existence, a set number of days. Don't waste your life getting caught in the net, as when the end comes, nothing's worse than regret. I'm guilty too of being part of this machine, this digital world we are heard but not seen, where we type as we talk and we read as we chat, where we spend hours together without making eye contact. So don't give in to a life where you follow the hype. Give people your love, don't give them your like. Disconnect from the need to be heard and defined. Go out into the world, leave distractions behind. Look up from your phone, shut down that display. Stop watching this video, live life the real way.
Okay. So that's a pretty powerful video. I really enjoyed it. So on your worksheet, there are a couple of reflections for the video. Which lines were most meaningful to you and why? What do you think these lines mean? And how would you change your life if you and others lived by these words? So take a minute to kind of think about that. I'm going to flip back to the worksheet here. You should have these 3 filled out right now. You're working on this reflection. Okay, so which lines were most meaningful to you and why? What do you think these lines mean? And how would you change your life if you and others lived by these words? Okay, so I'm going to move on. If you need to pause, that is fine. So with that video and with what we talked about reviving digital zombies, so what limits are you willing to put on your tech time? So one of the examples we talked about, it could be as simple as, putting your phone away at 9 o'clock p.m. So before you go to bed, or maybe you put your phone away at 9 and maybe you don't go to bed till 10, but maybe instead you read a book or do something. Maybe you meditate or something before you go to bed. Okay, so it can be something as simple as that. You're going to decide how many minutes and hours of every day you will use for tech time. So give yourself a window and specify how you're going to use technology. So during school, while doing schoolwork, outside of school, on weekdays and on weekends. So on your worksheet, you're going to take a minute. I'm going to flip back. And here is the table that you're going to use. So you're going to fill this out. You are going to put some limits on your tech time. You're just kind of setting a goal for yourself. Okay, so you're going to write here in this box next to during school, you're going to decide how many minutes and hours every day you will use for tech time. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just kind of set some goals for yourself. You're going to fill out those 4 boxes. And once you're done with this worksheet, you're going to go ahead and submit this through Schoology. So that was the last slide. I'm going to close this PowerPoint. Don't forget to take the personality test and the reflection on the personality test. Those are the next 2 assignments once you're done with the Reviving Digital Zombie notes. So that'll conclude our video. Just remember, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.